Good evening, everyone. Welcome back inside Die Hard Sports Fan 1. I have a loaded show today as I have come to you with another update on the teams I love. The name of this show, if you've not watched before, is Updates on the Teams I Love, which means I will focus mainly on the Washington Nationals, Washington Commanders, and North Carolina State Wolfpack. So without further ado, let's get to it. Last night, the Nats got back in the win column. They won last night 13-3. Dalen Lyle had a big night, including 3 hits, 5 RBIs, including a 3-run homer. The Nats won it last night, going away. Final, Washington 13, Colorado 3. It is ridiculously funny as the first half of the season and the second half of the season have been exact opposites. For example, the first half of the season, they could not win at home to save their lives. Since the trade deadline, which was August the 3rd, they're having a ridiculous amount of trouble winning on the road, as they just completed the most recent road trip, 1-8. 1-8 on the most recent road trip. They just completed that road trip, 1-8. For those of you who may not know, they started on the road ridiculously hot, and they could not win at home. Well, it's been the exact opposite since the trade deadline, as they're playing really well at home and slumping on the road. As I said, they completed the most recent road trip, 1-8, including a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Miami Marlins, a team that they will see in the middle of this 10-game homestand, which features the Rockies, Marlins, and the Braves. Last night they won it 13-3. As I said, Dalen Lyle had 3 hits and 5 RBIs, including a 3-run homer. Kay Cavalli continues to roll as he fires his 9th straight start of 6 innings or more, firing six innings of 2-run ball, striking out 7. Tonight in Game 2 against Colorado, it'll be Andrew Alvarez heading to the mound for the Nats as he looks to continue his strong starting pitching of late. Although he has been good lately, he has not had the wins to show for it. Hopefully that'll change tonight. First pitch, 6:45. That'll be on Nats TV. Covered. Dan Coco and Kevin Franzen will join you at 6:30. It'll be Alexa Dat with Nats pregame at 6:15. And as I said, Dan Coco and Kevin Franzen will join you at 6:30 with the play-by-play broadcast. The Nats won it last night, 13-3. They look to build on that tonight behind Andrew Alvarez. Now, shifting gears real quick to the Washington Commanders. They get set for preseason game number 3. It'll be the Commanders traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Game time, 6 o'clock Friday night. Starters do not expect the starters to play, as they will see little time, if any, in the third and final preseason game. They will have a joint practice tomorrow in Owings Mills. Well, the Commanders and the Ravens. The starters will get most of the reps in that practice. So as I said, do not expect them to play Friday night. The third and final preseason game is for the rookies and undrafted free agents to impress one final time, as final roster cuts have to be in by Sunday, August 30th at 6 p.m. That'll be 2 weeks ahead of week 1, which is September 13th. September 13th. It's at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, as my Washington Commanders will open up with 2 straight division games at Philly and at Dallas before the home opener September the 27th, as we host the Super Bowl champion, the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. That is a quick look at my Washington Commanders. Now, to my NC State Wolfpack. Wolfpack Nation, Week 0 is upon us. It'll be the Pack and the Cavs battling it out in the season opener and the conference opener for 2026. For the first year in 2026, the ACC will play 9 conference games, along with many other of the power conferences. The Pack and the Cavs will battle it out from Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. Kickoff time, 3:30 p.m. This is a game that was originally scheduled in Brazil, and it was moved about, I'm going to say, late July or early August. Late July or early August, it was moved from Brazil to Charlottesville. My Die Hard Sports Fan 1 studios are 1 hour from Charlottesville, so you know I'll be there backing the Pack. I was actually hoping this game would get moved so I could jump on the opportunity to get tickets, and that's exactly what happened. Now, taking a look around college football for week 0. 12 o'clock. It'll be the very first game of the season, as the North Carolina Tar Heels will take on TCU. Harvard transfer Jaden Craig is expected to get the start for TCU at quarterback. Wisconsin transfer Billy Edwards will be under center for UNC. Bobby Petrino, the well-known offensive coordinator, has joined Bill Belichick's staff at UNC. So it'll be interesting to see if anything changes from what happened to them last season. Petrino's teams have shown the ability to move the ball and score points, but the jury is still out on the defense. If their defense shows up, they should show a little bit of improvement from their 4-8 2025 season, but we will see. And on the side for TCU, as I said, Harvard transfer Jaden Craig will get the start. That game is at noon. That'll be followed by a 3:30 kick from Scott Stadium in Charlottesville as C.J. Bailey, Duke Scott, UNC transfer Davian Goss, and the rest of the pack will battle it out with the Cavs in the ACC/season opener for 2026. 7 o'clock from Doak Campbell Stadium. It'll be Florida State and New Mexico State. That is at Doak Campbell Stadium Saturday night on the CW. 7 o'clock from Palo Alto. It'll be Stanford taking on Hawaii. That's in Palo Alto, California, the home of the Stanford Cardinal. The kickoff there at 7 o'clock. That is just a little bit of the schedule for week 0. It'll be week 0 kicking off August 29th. This coming Saturday at noon. And then the week 1, it'll be a full week 1, kicking off somewhere around September 3rd. I do not have the full schedule in front of me, but the week 1 schedule for the rest of college football should kick off around September 3rd. The first edition of College Game Day will be September 5th in Baton Rouge. Check your local listings as College Game Day will be on the site as Lane Kiffin and LSU get set to battle Clemson in the first game since Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss to coach LSU. For those of you who do not know, it was a controversial exit for Lane Kiffin, leaving LSU leaving Ole Miss to go to LSU. He left Ole Miss after 6 years to take over at LSU. Brian Kelly was relieved of his duties at the end of the season. So Lane Kiffin has shifted from Ole Miss after 6 years at Ole Miss to LSU. Ole Miss made the college football playoff. For those of you who do not know, they did make the college football playoff. They beat Tulane in the first round. Tulane was under John Summerall, who is now in year one at Florida. Ole Miss beat Tulane in the first round. Then they beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl before dropping a tough one to Miami in I believe that was the Fiesta Bowl. Ole Miss dropped a tough one to Miami. And as we know, Miami proceeded to battle it out before losing a tough one with eventual national champion Indiana. That is a look back at 2025 college football as we prepare for week 0 in 2026. UNC TCU will kick it off Saturday at noon, followed by NC State and UVA, 3:30, Scott Stadium. Florida State, New Mexico State will kick it off from Doak Campbell Stadium. That'll be Saturday at 7 o'clock. Stanford and Hawaii will kick it off from Stanford Stadium in Palo Alto. That'll be a 7 p.m. kick. Stanford will then welcome in Miami for what will be Miami's season opener, as they will kick it off September the 4th. I believe that is a 9 p.m. kick. It'll be the first career start at Miami for Duke transfer Darian Mensah. If you do not know about the Ole Miss exit for Lane Kiffin, I encourage you to read up on it. It is very interesting, so you might be there for a little while. But I do encourage you to read up on it because, again, it is fascinating. And also, as we prepare for the 2026 season and the road to what will eventually be the ACC championship game in Charlotte, I encourage you to read up on the drama that was Darian Mensah and Duke, because that's another fascinating story. So if you have not read up on either one of those, as we prepare for the 2026 season, I encourage you to sit back, relax, and do so. Well, college football fans, guess what? Week 0 is upon us. I encourage you to sit back, relax. Saturday, week 0 kicks off. So Saturday at noon, it'll be UNC TCU. 3:30 from Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. It'll be UVA and NC State. 7 o'clock from Tallahassee, Florida State, New Mexico State. 7 o'clock from Palo Alto, California, Stanford Stadium. It'll be Hawaii taking on Stanford. And again, that'll be a very interesting game because on September the 4th, Stanford will welcome in Miami for what will be Miami's 2026 opener as Stanford plays game 2. Well, everybody, I appreciate you joining me on this Tuesday night. And I'll sign off by saying this. Until next time on Die Hard Sports Fan 1, college football is right around the corner, and the NFL will not be far behind 2 or 3 weeks later as NFL Kickoff Weekend presented by YouTube TV kicks off September the 9th. But for now, until next time, everybody, on Die Hard Sports Fan 1.